Good morning internet and welcome back to the channel. So it's Tuesday morning, it's the 15th of April. It's an absolutely horrible day again, like not quite so bad as yesterday, but it's got the potential. We got to have a look in my eye. I got to do the weather, I have. Because there's nothing else to do really when the weather's like this, is that apart from look at it and think, oh no, look at that. Actually, it has actually brightened up a bit. But by all accounts, it's going to throw it down. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be biking weather today, do you? So the subject today is bikes, and it's the Guerrilla, and I'll tell you the reason why. As you know, over the past sort of few months, I've been a little bit unhappy with my Guerrilla. It's you know, this jerkiness, this snatchiness on the throttle at low revs, and I've sort of gathered by comments that are coming that my bike is not the only bike. You know, it's as simple as that, innit? Let's face it. And so, right, excuse me. Let's get one thing sorted out. I am not a disliker of this bike. I think this bike is a cracking bike. It's little, it's nimble, it's agile, it's fun. You can throw it around, it's got the power. It's got the colour scheme. You know, it's a great bike. I mean, it really is a nice bike. And I know I said before that I think they aimed it at the younger market, but it suits us older riders as well because, you know, it's not high. It's not heavy. You know, it's great. I absolutely love it. So let's get that out of the way, that anybody says, oh, you don't like the Guerrilla, because I do. I do like the bike. I think it's a cracking bike. The thing that I find with it is that if everybody searched the soul and was to be absolutely and 100% honest, at low revs, and let's get this right, at low revs, it does snatch, it's a bit jerky and that, and it's a new bike. Come on, you know, this is the bottom line. It's a new bike. I don't know, right, if your wife went out and bought, I don't know, a mixer, you know, to mix a cake mixing, and the thing was snatchy and jumpy and didn't do it, you'd take it back, wouldn't you? I mean, that's the bottom line, isn't it? But we don't do it. We put up, hang on a minute, when it's running, it'll lose all that. And to be fair, right, they do get better. They get a lot better. Mine now, I went out the weekend, met up with some mates, and it was a faster ride, yeah? We was out on the bigger roads, it was a faster ride. That was brilliant. No jerkiness, nothing at all. But coming back home, I stopped off, went through a few little villages, yeah, took the coast road back, and then we was back to this jerkiness again. And so I think that's the problem, right? And let's face it, look, it's a single cylinder. We all know that. Single cylinder bikes, excuse me. God, blimey. It's this rain, innit? It's the Breton weather again, it's cursed. But, you know, when I was younger, right, back on the old BSAs and the old Triumphs and the old Thumpers, yeah? But in that day and age, we didn't know any better, did we? We didn't have the sophistication. We didn't have the smooth running bikes. That was it. That's what we was brought up on. So we accepted it and we loved them. I loved them. I thought that was brilliant. But in this day and age, things are different. You know, now I've had a BMW 650 single Fundura, you know, that brilliant bike. I mean, you know, just smooth, lovely. You would have never known it was but okay, I get it. BMW, Royal Enfield, there's a huge difference in build quality. Well, there was back then anyway. Not too sure now, but still never mind. That'll upset the BMW lovers. But anyway, so I sort of get it, right? The manufacturers of today who are trying to make these bikes, who are trying to make them smaller, they're trying to make them lighter, they're trying to make them more fuel efficient, and I think the biggest problem that they've got is government guidelines, yeah? The emissions. They've got to hit these emissions, and that is where the problem starts. By trying to get them right down, these bikes, especially single cylinders, because let's face it, when they bought the singles out, they had trouble with the balance on the cranks, and they've got over that now. You know, KTM was a big sufferer of that, but they got over it. So now the mapping on them is that, you know, it's that far down that these bikes, when they are at low revs, that's when they're snatchy and jumpy and some stall, you know. But the trouble is, yes, it's curable, but we'll get to that in a minute. But the trouble is, when you go out and you buy yourself a brand new motorcycle, and this is my opinion, right? Let's get this sorted out. You shouldn't have to think, well, hang on a minute, I've got to do this or I've got to do that to get it running to how it should run. It doesn't, and listen, this isn't just Royal Enfield. There's one or two of them that suffer the same thing. Excuse me, again. Right. Now, 99% of the time that I'm out on my bike, it's fine, you know, because you get your speeds up and it's fine. It's only when I drop it down to, say, you know, 30 kilometres, 40 kilometres an hour, it gets this and snatchiness and everything. Now, okay, it's a ride-by-wire throttle. It could be that, but I don't think it's that. I don't think it's anything to do with that. And at first I thought, is it the gearing? Well, I don't think it's the gearing. I think it's purely and simply down to the mapping. That's it. Right, how the fuel is mapped in, because the emissions are being that. So, now the answer, of course, or the suggested answer, is a Fuelx. Yeah? So I've looked at them. And I've never fitted anything like this in my life to any motorcycle that I've ever owned. And believe you me, I've had some bikes in my life. Big ones, small ones, fast ones, slow ones, wide ones, slim ones, you name it, I've had it. Now, but I've got to be honest, this niggles me with this Guerrilla, because it's not what it should be. Now, it's pretty damn obvious, isn't it, that Royal Enfield, you take it back to their shop, and they're just gonna fob you off, because what can I do? You know, it's come out the factory, the mapping's set, you know, and from, like I said, from what I can gather, it's pretty well, I'd say most of them do this bit of a jumping at low revs. Maybe some of the riders, you know, they don't, like Ian, right? Ian Hughes, he's out and about. He doesn't, you know, when I watch Ian's videos, which I enjoy his videos, he's more on the open roads more, whereas I'm more through the little villages. So our riding style is different. And so I don't think Ian really notices this so much, but I do. Anyway, back to Fuelx. So you got the Fuelx Lite and you got the Fuelx Pro Plus. Now, I mean, a Pro Plus, I mean, you know, that's the one where you can set the settings and everything else. I mean, God forbid, that could be disastrous. Well, for me anyway, and the bike. So the Fuelx Lite, plug it in, it's a plug and play. I like plug and plays. Plug it in, it does everything for you. It remaps it and it adjusts it all, bloody blah. But does it make a difference? Now, again, and this is the trouble, isn't it? You can go on to YouTube, and you know, the trouble is with YouTube, you know, I mean, I'm on YouTube, I run a YouTube channel. If anybody watches anything I do in this garage, work-wise, I always, if something goes wrong or I struggle with something, I never, ever cut it out. What I do is what you see. If I struggle, you see it. If I find something is difficult, that's it. It's as simple as that. I've had people leave me comments saying, well, you ought to get organised before you do the job instead. Well, why? The whole point is me saying this is what can happen. That's what life is all about. Not, you know, this isn't some picture that I'm making where everything ends in roses and, you know, glorious life forever. Life throws obstacles. Working on bikes throws obstacles. So, now, but the trouble is, a lot of people could go out and spend, because these Fuelx things, they're not cheap. You know, Hitchcocks. I looked on Hitchcocks. I think for, I don't know, 150 quid roughly. So I don't know. By the time it gets here with the import and tax, it's going to cost me over €200. €200 to put on a brand new bike that shouldn't be doing it in the first place. But anyway. Now, and even Hitchcocks, their page says to eliminate jerkiness, snatchiness, yeah, at low revs. So hang on a sec. That's what Hitchcocks are saying. So You look on the videos on YouTube of people with these, and there's so many. Yeah, I fitted a Fuelx. Wow, what a difference! Then you go to the next one. Yeah, I fitted a Fuelx. Didn't really notice anything. so what do? Hey, do you rush out? Do I go out and buy one, put it on? The wife would kill me. You know, I mean, she wouldn't mind. I'd go out and do it. But what annoys me is I'm spending money extra on a bike that I've paid for in the first place to make it not jump at low revs. That doesn't make sense to me. It does actually annoy me, the fact that I now, to get rider satisfaction, you know, I've been riding bikes too many years, right? I'm not some young kid who's just passed his test and, you know, having a whinge. You know, I've been riding over 50 odd years, and a lot of people out there have been doing the same thing, and I have never ever encountered a bike like this before. That's it, bottom line. And I'm not happy with it. It annoys me that I should have to try and get round it to make this bike run right at low revs. It's very, very annoying. It should have been done at the factory. I don't care about the emissions. Then do something else. They fit something like this. I don't know. Who knows? You know, not really my problem, is it? I've gone out, I've bought a bike, and it's as it is. Yeah, I could trade it in, couldn't I? I could, if I wanted to. I could trade it in, get one of their twins, you know, the Shotgun, Interceptor, Super Meteor, and, you know, the Bear, the Classic, who knows, you know. And they probably don't have this trouble. I doubt it very much, because just the twin cylinder alone will eliminate that, probably. But I'd lose a fortune if I traded this bike in now. So, you know, the only one that's going to make any money is the dealer that sold it to me in the first place if I trade it back into him. That cuts well against the grain, that does. So, I'm faced with now, do I fit a Fuelx and give it a whirl? You know, I've already put changed the air filter. Which it did. It made a little bit of difference. It gave it more responsiveness. Not as much as it did the Himalayan, but it certainly helped a bit. So, you know, do I go all out now and look and think, right, that's it, pay me €200 or whatever it is and get me a Fuelx and whack it on, and think to myself, yeah. And I could come back on YouTube and say, do you know, I fitted this, cured it. But it might not, you see. Oh, well. Right, okay. So, I mean, that's it really, isn't it? I mean, so I don't know what to do. I'm in a predicament now. I mean, because I do like the bike, you know. I mean, look at it. I mean, well, you can't see a lot of it because it's sort of hiding, but, you know, I mean, I do like it. They look a lovely bike. You know, it doesn't really matter what colour you have, does it? You know, I'm trying to think what mileage, well, not mileage, but kilometres mine's got on it now. Because, like I said, I went out with some mates. Let's have a look, shall we? Let it do its thing. And it is 1,785 kilometres. So, you know, it's not, you know, it's sort of, it's running, you know, it's running. And it's loosened up. There's no two ways about it. The engine is lovely and responsive now. It's great, you know. I mean, like I said, when I went out the weekend with some mates, I mean, that bike runs superbly, run beautifully. Until I came back home, my little coast road run, because we all know I love the coast, and hit some traffic and that, and then we started off with the jerkiness again, which, again, you know, it makes your riding experience uncomfortable, shall we say. That's the word I'm looking for. A bit uncomfortable, because it shouldn't be there. So, anyway. Now, I'm sure, hopefully, we'll get some comments back on this one, because it will be interesting to see. I know there's a couple of videos on the internet that I found about the guerrilla who's had the Fuelx fitted. But a couple of them are from India, and it's a different riding thing there. You know, we got to remember, you know, it's different atmospheric conditions. That's a big word, isn't it, for a Tuesday morning? Atmospheric conditions. I mean, yeah, let's face it, an outboard motor is all I need, really, on the back of it. Right, so, yeah, those are my thoughts, you know. So, yes, share me yours, it'll be interesting. But please don't think for 1 minute that I dislike this bike, because I really don't, you know. When I met up with my mates the weekend, they hadn't seen, well, one of them had seen this bike. And the interest in it was, you know, everybody wanted to look, oh, you know, you've got one of these great, oh, what a cracking bike. And these are people, you know, with bigger bikes, BMs, you know, God knows what else, they go off touring and all that. They you know, they love this bike. And it is a lovable bike. It's just this niggly pain in the backside, snatchiness that I hate. I mean, it's that little niggly bit, you know. And I don't think I'm being unreasonable. I really don't. It doesn't matter if I paid €5 for this bike, 5,000 for it. It makes no odds. It's a new bike straight out of the factory. It should run. They should have got it right, in my opinion. You know. I wonder if the Himalayan 450 is that mapped up different? You know, that would be interesting. I mean, my 411, that runs smooth. There's none of this little meteor here. I mean, what a cracking bike, runs beautiful. So why is this one? Why is that? They've all got to meet the same targets on emissions. So what's the problem? Yeah. Anyway, right. On that note, I dare say that we've all got this. Well, if you live up this part of Europe and the UK and Ireland, you've probably got this weather. Hopefully, I mean, come on. The last 2 weeks, I mean, wasn't it gorgeous? It was great to get here. I'd only just got into my summer kit, eh? I mean, you know, never mind. So hopefully we'll get rid of this and we'll get the sun back and we can all do what we love doing best, which is riding our bikes. So until the next video, if you've liked this, give us a thumbs up. That would be great. If you're not subscribed, I'd love you to subscribe to me. Slowly coming up. This is great. Opinions. That's talking and opinions. Very, very, very important. And to the guy, I forget his name now. Some guy left me a message the other day. I think I went out I'm rabbiting again, you know. Too much blah, blah, blah is what this guy said. Blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what, mate? My blah, blah, blah makes me happy. And he said, no one's interested in watching you ride your bike. We'd get on our own, we'd ride it. Well, that's funny because the video that you commented on has had over 500 views. So there's got to have a little bit of interest in it, mate. So I think you're the one with the blah, 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 but still, never mind. Right, okay. So I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, look after yourselves. Bye for now.